This virtual model of Seattle's Henry Art Gallery shows how VR can be used by architects to design buildings to precise scale. The virtual worlds give them a much better sense of real space than flat-screen design packages. But the HIT Lab isn't just interested in pictures. Sound that appears to come from the right direction to make the computer world seem much more real. This shark hunt game uses 3D sound so the hunter can work out where the sharks are coming from. At the moment, this is just a prototype for use in science labs, but a big game company is already working with the HIT Lab. Who knows? One day you may take a dip with Mario or Sonic. The future's looking really good. Instead of buckets and wires, you'll be able to slip into cyberspace as easy as putting on a pair of specs. This is Z-Right for Bad Influence in Seattle. Sorry, in cyberspace.
A happening place to be. A very happening place to be, cyberspace. See you
If
next week.
If you saw films like Lawnmower Man, you might have thought that virtual reality was more realistic than that. But these pictures show us exactly where virtual reality is at the moment. In the film, it's just special effects.
It's also very difficult to convey what virtual reality is really like on telly because it's a three-dimensional thing, and telly, of course, is only two-dimensional. But for what it's worth, take my opinion, it's excellent. Now on Bad Influence, this week's news and previews.
Sonic's back, and this time he's brought a friend. We're playing the Mega Drive version here.
Once again, you take Sonic on a high-speed chase through lots of levels to collect rings. His foxy friend's called Tails because he's got two. And in the two-player option, you can actually take a character each and race through the levels. Sonic goes faster than he did on the first game, and Tails can use both those tails and fly like a helicopter.
The finished version is scheduled for worldwide release on November the 24th.
So look out for that. Don't forget also the Future Entertainment Show from the 5th to the 8th of November at Earl's Court. All the latest in video games and virtual reality will be there, and so will the Bad Influence film crew. Future will be hosting the first Bad Influence National Games Championship. The preliminary round started across the country last week, and judging by the prizes, the Manchester winner Jeff Treasure walked away with, the finger fiddling and joystick juggling was well worth it.
Mario is soon to reappear in Super Mario Kart on the SNES. That fearless little plumber has taken to the racetrack and has brought his Mushroom World friends and enemies with him.
Mario's been very busy as he appears again here in Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy, due out early December. It promises to have all the fun of Mario Land and more. This time you can see Mario twizzle and spin and even fly when he gets some bunny ears.
Aww. If you still think gameplay requires too much effort, meet the TurboTouch 360 control pad. It takes the strain out of pad bashing as it's touch sensitive.
They claim to improve your scores by helping you play longer. Versions to fit most machines should be in the shops by January and will cost you around £20.
And now for a mega first. Streets of Rage 2, the unfinished version. All the street action you'd expect, plus the secret weapons hidden inside ordinary-looking objects. This 16-meg game, the biggest ever for the Mega Drive, should be in the shops in January.
Remember where you saw it first, here on Bad Influence. Now for some more games reviews.
First up this week is Putty for the Amiga. It's a game like nothing you've seen before, a mixture of platform, puzzles and adventure. Here's Emma.
The object of the game is to collect bots, which are just robots, and to take them back to the spaceship so that they can go back to the home planet. Putty's a bit hard to control because it does so many things when it squidges and slimes. I like Putty's graphics because the colours make Putty stand out, and the backgrounds are good with the trees. I like the sound effects, the way he screams and the gun shoots. Over there there's a punk rocker with some sunglasses and a gun who's trying to kill me. I'd definitely buy Putty, and I've already recommended it to one of my friends.
It's too sluggish. Great graphics and sound, but underneath it's not a good game.
The graphics are really good, especially the cat, and it's not too fast and it's pretty playable.
And the scores for Putty, the boys gave it 2 out of 5, and the girls gave it 4 out of 5.
Next is Super Smash TV for the Game Gear. It's a classic arcade shoot-'em-up based on a futuristic TV game show. It's already appeared in other formats. Here's Lakesh.
The graphics are kind of dull. The idea behind it is quite simple. Just destroy everything on the screen and collect the power-ups. This is the Mutoid Man, and he's the end-of-level guardian for level 1. To To get through the level, it's fairly simple, but once you reach this guy, you need a lot of credits to get past him. I've been spending approximately 10 minutes just to complete this guy, and I'm not really getting very far, or I don't really know if I am. I'm dead. I won't really buy Smash TV. There are better games out for the Game Gear, and personally I prefer Pac-Man to it.
It was quite good, but it was really difficult to see what was going on.
It's okay, but the directional fire isn't very good on the Game Gear.
And the scores for Super Smash TV, the boys only gave it 2 out of 5, and the girls 3 out of 5.
And finally, it's Battletoads for the NES. Here's Amanda.
Graphics on this are really fun, and cartoons, and you can really take your aggression out on them. And what I'm hitting at the moment is one of the monsters, and you've got to kill it twice in order for it to actually die. And then you pick up its bones, and you can hit them with this instead. This is level 2, and the gameplay is completely different. The graphics are really amazing. I mean, just look at these pictures, and the music isn't irritating, which is really good as well. This game's just amazing, and I definitely buy it.
The graphics are really good, but I'm not that keen on it. It's just gratuitous violence.
I like the graphics. This is a good game.
And the scores for Battletoads, the boys gave it 4 out of 5, and the girls gave it 4 out of 5.
Tip of the week. I hope you still got that pen and paper ready. Remember, never share a joypad with someone who's been eating treacle sandwiches. Zool is the best-selling game this week on the Amiga, and here's how to cheat at it. When the game's loading, you get this screen. Type in goldfish. The screen flashes. Well, it would, wouldn't it? Because you're now in cheat mode. Keys F1 to F6 let you choose any world that you want. There are some other cheats on the other keys, but you'll have to find those out for yourselves.
Thanks, Nam. He'll be turning up every week with tips and hints and cheats. But don't let that put you off. There'll be some interesting stuff too.
Yeah, we're going to be asking some serious questions of the game's manufacturers, like, why do console cartridges cost up to £65?
But Bad Influence isn't just about games. We'll also be finding out about all the other exciting things computers can do, like this, for instance.
And now for something completely different.
I'm sorry, I'll say that again. And now for somebody completely different.
That wasn't quite as painful as it looked. It's a computer trick called morphing, which is short for metamorphosing. You've probably seen it in commercials or films. This is Igor. Igor's brilliant. He's a very clever little robot. He learns just like we do, by trying things out, making mistakes and learning from them. Later in the series, we'll show you how he learned to hop like that, all by himself.
And don't forget the Bad Influence magazine, available from mid-November. It's packed full of tips and reviews and info on the programme. And that's about it for this week, except the competition. And the question is as follows. What are the names of our 2 Humanosaur characters? That's those 2 on the screen behind me.
Here's a clue. The answer's not Violet and Andy, but if you think you know what it is, put it on a postcard or a stuck-down envelope and send it to us here at Bad Influence to reach us by next Monday, please. First out of the sack, we'll get a Nintendo Action Pack with Super Scope, but better than that, you'll get a Bad Influence t-shirt as well. Don't forget to video the data blast for the address. That starts in a couple of seconds.
And we'll leave you with a clip of Sonic 2. It's a very special secret level that only 2 people and a blue hedgehog know the code for.
See you Saturday 9:25 for What's Up Doc. Take care. Bye-bye.